Shabbat Shalom, family. Hi, I am Mama Sia.
And I am Papa Sia.
And we are here today to help you get your life in this word because that's the only place you can get it. Isn't that right, Papa?
That's right.
Okay. Well, let me just start off by saying if you can hear my music in the background, I have no rights to that music whatsoever. That is Dappy Keys, and I like to listen to his music because it has no words and it helps bring me into the presence of Yah. And it speaks to my spirit, and I just feel that it's anointed, and I like to use it when I am doing things to help push Yah's word forward
out to his people.
So, okay, well, we're going to get started because before you know it, this little hour will be up. And it'll be time to go. We left off to at Genesis 3 and 7. Okay, let me make sure I am 3. Yep, I am on 3, and there is 7. And we're going to do a quick review. Okay, we started with 3.
Yes.
And then we moved to 7th. And I'm just going to do the quick review real quick. And then Papa will start to read as I try to break down what Yah has shown me in his word. Okay, so 3 and 1 says, now the serpent was more subtle, okay, than any beast of the field which the Lord, Yah, had made. Okay, I wanted to define subtle so you would get an idea of the character of this serpent. It's fine or delicate, difficult to perceive or understand, mysterious, characterized by requiring mental acuteness, penetration or discernment, cunning, wildly crafty, insidious in operation, skillful, clever, or ingenious, difficult to detect or grasp by the mind or analyze, able to make fine distinctions, working or spreading in a hidden and usually injurious way, poison, affecting in a way that is not obvious. Starting to get the picture of who this serpent really is. Pleasant and not too strong, creative and intelligent in a way that is not too obvious, hard to grasp, not obvious or easily understood, barely noticeable, cleverly contrived, sly in design, artful, insinuating, penetrative or persuasive, treacherous, nicely discriminating, smooth and deceptive, elusive. Okay, and all of that information came off of google.com when I was doing research for my book, and I was reading that right out of my book that I wrote called The Forbidden Fruit. It's actually talking about what really happened in the Garden of Eden that day, that was not an apple that they ate, and my book breaks down what it was. So I was reading that from The Forbidden Fruit by me. Okay, and so that gives us a little better understanding of the serpent. So he was more subtle than any beast. Now remember, Yah made him. And so if he made him that way. And he made him that way for a reason. Now the serpent said to the woman, first of all, we have a talking serpent because he said, you just saw it, said he said. So you have to be able to talk to say that. And why her? Because the husband was right there. And she was the very one that Yah had not given that command to. He told the man not to eat of that tree. And I find it interesting that he didn't say off the tree. He said of the tree. So why is the serpent approaching the woman when Yah specifically gave that command to the man? He never told her that. And we read that when he gave this command, Adam wasn't even created. And when he did, Eve wasn't created. And when he did create Eve, he didn't tell her that. He just brought her to the man that he had created her for. And we also talked about that the man was created from dust, the dirt off the ground. And the dirt off the ground is not white people. Okay, I'm just leave that right there. And that when he created her, he didn't go to the ground to create her. He went to the man to create her. He took her out of the man's rib. And Papa reminded us about the interesting thing about the rib, which was,
It's the only bone in the body that can regenerate itself.
now, isn't that awesome? And God, Yah, you hear us go interchangeable. They're the same person. God and Yah. Yah is just the Hebrew name. Okay. And he said unto the woman, yea, or yo, just break it down. Hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree? First of all, he's making it seem like she couldn't eat of any of the tree. Ye shall not eat of every tree. He knew good and well out of all them trees that it was only one. So why was he making it seem like you can't eat out of none of them trees? He's digging for information. He's trying to find out something.
He's locating her.
He's locating her, and he's being very subtle about it, okay? Because you heard those definitions. He doesn't want his hidden agenda revealed, okay? So he included all the trees, and now the woman says, when it was just that one, okay, so the woman said to the serpent, we may eat. Okay, first of all, she got something to say. How is it she has something to say when y'all didn't give her that command? Where did she get her information from? She had to get her information from Adam.
Right.
Adam had to tell her what Yah had said because Yah didn't tell her. Now, why did Adam think that if Yah wanted her to know that, why wouldn't he tell her that? Yah didn't tell her for a specific reason. Maybe it was because it was okay for her to eat from the tree.
The commandment hadn't been given to her.
Because the commandment has not been given to her. So why did Adam feel like he needed to give her the commandment? Why did he feel like he needed her to include her in the commandment? Was it because Adam didn't understand that that command was just for him? Okay, we're going to leave that right there. So now she says we can eat of every tree, all the trees, but of the fruit tree which is in the midst of the garden. First of all, let's define midst. Midst means middle. Now, Yah had created all these trees that were pleasant to the eye and good for food. And then in the midst or the middle, he put two. So he got all these other trees in this garden that are pleasant to the eye and good for food. And this is where they're supposed to be eaten from. But then he puts two other trees right in the midst, in the middle. So all these other trees had to be around the perimeters if these are in the middle. Okay? So why did he put these two in the middle? Why did he separate these two trees from all the rest of the trees? Maybe it's because there was something different about the fruit on these trees. All those other trees were good for food. He said it. And pleasant to the eye. In other words, they were good to look at. They were nice to look at. But these two he put in the middle was the exception to the rule. Which tells me, number one, they weren't good for food. And number two, they wasn't so attractive to look at. Okay, let's keep going. And then she says she done added some stuff. You know, you can't eat it, you can't touch it, at least you're going to die. First of all, y'all didn't say nothing about you can't touch it. She just kind of added that. That's what happens when you get hearsay. Try playing this game with your children when you get home, or whosoever you want to play it with. Have at least 5 people. Start off and whisper something in that first person's ear. And then that person has to whisper it to the next person. You can't help them. Once you tell them, that's it. They heard what they heard. Then that person has to whisper it to the next person. That person to the next person. That person to the next person. And you keep doing that till you get to the end. You can put as many people in this game as you want, but you need at least 5. Okay, but the more you put in, the funnier it gets. And then when you get to the end, ask that person what he heard. And I guarantee you that that last person is going to hear something that was totally not said at all. That's what happens with hearsay. Something's always going to get messed up. Okay, let's keep going. And then he said, can't touch it or whatever. And then the serpent goes and tells the woman that you shall not surely. They're like, he know more. First of all, Yah created him. Remember? He was subtle. He was the most subtle beast of the field that Yah had created. So Yah created him. But now all of a sudden, he trying to check Yah and say that you won't die when you will die. That's what Yah said. Yah said you will. Now, was Yah talking about a physical death, that the minute you do what it was that he commanded Adam not to do? Was he talking about a physical death? Nope. He was talking about a spiritual death. Remember that breath of life that Yah breathed into Adam after he created him into his nostrils? When Yah breathed that breath of life into Adam, only then did Adam become flesh and a living soul. Okay? So what was going to happen, the death he was talking about, and that was Yah's spirit that he was putting into Adam so that Adam could hear from him, spiritually discern what he's saying, like we can today. And that's because Yeshua HaMashiach, what his son did for us. Now that we can hear again. The death that Yah was talking about was a spiritual death. You'll no longer be able to hear from your Ruach HaKodesh, which is his Holy Spirit that is in you. Ruach HaKodesh is the Hebrew word for Yah's Holy Spirit. Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? So he was talking about his Ruach HaKodesh in you was going to die. And you would not be able to hear from Yah. You're only going to be able to hear from the other God. Because right now we're talking about two. Okay? And we're going to keep on going. And then the serpent or the devil, same difference, goes on to say, God does know. Oh, once again, trying to check Yah. Talking about God doesn't know. So, or in other words, God knows. I don't know why he ain't telling you the truth. Really? See how subtle and clever he is? And he said that the day you eat, then your eyes shall be open. First of all, their eyes were already open. And their eyes were open to good. That was all their eyes were open to. Okay? Their eyes were not open to evil. That was the only thing their eyes were not open to. But their eyes were open to good. How many of you want your eyes open to evil? You don't. If you had a choice, you wouldn't choose evil. You would choose good. I just want my eyes to be open to good, not of evil. But Adam didn't know. He didn't have any knowledge. Everything was spiritually discerned. Okay. That it should be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So that tells us that it is the gods that know good and evil. So we're talking about more than one, because if you look at that word, it has an S on it, which means that's the plural form, which means more than one. So right now we're talking about two, good and evil. We're talking about the God of good and the God of evil. And I shouldn't have to define which God is good and which God is evil. You should already know that, okay? So it's the God that know, and I find it very interesting, knowing good and evil. That's what the gods know, and it's the gods that know that, and they know that because it's information, knowledge about themselves and about the other one. So one is good, the good one knows about evil. Remember, he created them, and the evil one knows about the good one. Okay? And I find it interesting that if you were to read the name of that tree backwards, the name of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you would get. Did I lose some of those? Okay. Oh, no. Hold on. The name of the tree. Okay, forward, it's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Once again, reading from my book that broke all this down when I asked the question or gave people really born that way. I'm not giving you the answer. You want to know the answer? You're going to have to buy the book. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's keep going. The name of the tree forward is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And if you read it backwards, it is evil and the tree of the knowledge of good. So this tree is clearly evil and it has the knowledge of good. Okay? So it's the gods that know who they are and who that other one is. Okay? And Yah called this tree the tree of the knowledge of that information. The difference between good and evil. Now, why would a tree have knowledge? He was not just talking about a literal tree, people. Come on. I'm going to need you to think outside the box. Yah usually talks symbolically in his word because his truth is hidden to those who don't have an ear to hear. It's like treasure, okay? So anyway, okay. So now it says, number 6 says, and when the woman saw, that implies that there was a time when she didn't saw. Okay, I know that was not grammatically correct. Just tried to make a point. There was a time when she didn't saw that the tree was good for food. And I was going to get to that. It's in my notes, Papa. And then, let me see, hold on. When the woman saw the tree was good for food and that it was. So she also saw that it was pleasant to the eye. Okay, didn't we learn in the beginning that all the trees in the perimeter were the ones that were good for food and pleasant to the eye. And it was only those two in the middle that were not. There was something different about them. So now all of a sudden, this one in the middle, this tree with the knowledge of good and evil, now all of a sudden it has become good for food. When it wasn't in that category, and it's become pleasant to the eye when it wasn't in that category either. So now all of a sudden, she's sowing. Well, it is good for food. And it is pleasant to the eye. Okay. And a tree to be desired. Desired, a tree to be desired. I'm gonna just let that sit there. Whatever comes to your spirit, run with it, okay? A tree to be desired? Really? Okay, we don't desire trees. We desire each other, not trees. We like trees. We want trees. We eat from trees, but we don't really desire. You ever heard that? Oh, child, I desire that apple tree. I desire that apple off that tree. That is not something that we say. Okay. So now all of a sudden, she's desiring this tree to make her wise. Does she even know what wise is? No, she don't. See, that's how temptation works. A lot of times he offers you what you already have, but you just don't know you have it. Just like he will, I was trying to think of something that he offers. He offers you.
Let's talk about what he offered Yeshua, the second Adam.
Okay, now see, yeah, he offered him all these kingdoms of the world, which he had. First of all, he came to him when he was hungry too. I find it interesting that he's approaching them when they're hungry too at this point, because you can't offer somebody something to eat if they ain't hungry. If I'm full and I don't care what you're coming with. If I'm full, that's not going to be a temptation to me. You come with a piece of chocolate cake, baby. If I'm on full, I'm going to turn down that cake. But if I'm hungry, knowing I ain't supposed to have that chocolate because it's going to break me out, I'm going to eat that cake because I'm hungry. So he came to Yeshua when he was hungry too and offered him to turn some stones into bread. Really? Now, you know Yeshua could have did that. I mean, Yeshua could have did that if he'd have wanted to.
He multiplied the fish for his disciples.
Come on now. Okay, he turned water into wine. Okay, but what did he do? He didn't sit there and use empty words with the devil. He put the word on the devil because that is the only thing that's going to shut him up. He's going to talk to you all day long. Remember, he searches all day to and fro who he may devour, and the operative word is may. He's got to get your permission to do it. He can't just devour you. You got to give him permission. You got to stand in agreement with it. So if you don't agree to it, he can't leave it. Okay? So don't agree to it, but you got to have some word to come against it. He ain't going to respect nothing else. He knows y'all's word. He's just going to be checking your butt out to see do you. Because if you don't, he got you. He going to leave. He going to run with you. And he's going to be able to put all these crazy thoughts. You ain't going to ever amount to nothing. You ain't no good. You stupid. He's going to put all these crazy thoughts in your head. But if you don't have any word of Yah's in your heart, you can't run him out. You can't shut him up. Like he'll try to tell you broke. It's like, no, I am not. I walk in abundance and not lacking. Y'all put wealth and riches in my house. You see what I'm saying? You got to have that word. You know, he'll try to tell you, you're going to die. No, I will live and fulfill the number of my years. You know what I'm saying? I will live and not die and declare his word. You got to have some word to speak back to him when you hear him coming for you. He coming for you all day. And this is your ammunition. And if you're not full of the word, what you gonna say when he come for you? Because he come all day, every day. Okay, let's keep going. All right, because that could be a whole nother topic. So, now it's one to be desired so she could be wise. She was already wise. She had spiritual discernment. They was just like Yah. How much wiser can you get if you just like Yah? You in his image and his likeness. I mean, you act just like he do. You know what he know. You know what I'm saying? To a degree. Let's not get stupid with that, but is spiritually discerned. You can hear him just like I can hear him. That quiet, still voice on the inside. Nothing auditory. Don't get creepy. It's not an auditory voice. It's a still, quiet voice on the inside that's always telling you to do the right thing. The world like to call it your consciousness because they don't want to give y'all credit for nothing. Baby, that's his voice talking to you, telling you to do the right thing. And then right after that, you'll hear this other voice that always come and tell you, oh, no, you don't listen to that. Do the wrong thing. Smack her, shut her up, cuss her out. When the other one to say, just walk away, forgive her, don't even go there. You see what I'm saying? They're constantly talking to you all day. And when you feed the most, if you feeding that evil voice, that flesh voice with the world all day because you ain't getting in your word at all, then that's all that's going to come out of you. You're not going to be able to hear God's voice because you have to put this in you. Your word I had in my heart so that I don't sin against you. You got to put that word in your heart. If you ain't put it in your heart, then you're going to sin. Okay? And even with it in your heart, you're going to sin sometimes because none of us is perfect. The only one that could get in this flesh suit and defy was Yeshua. Okay? He was the only one because your spirit, that Ruach HaKodesh, is always warring with your flesh. Because when Yeshua came, he took back power and authority, dominion. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the spirit was awakened, so now we could hear from the spirit again. But if you haven't fed your spirit, you won't hear nothing. All you're gonna hear is the word. If that's all you fed it, is what they saying in the world, then that's all you're gonna hear is what they saying in the world. You won't be able to hear nothing out the word. So let's keep going. Okay, it's a lot. This chapter 3 is loaded. Okay, it's so much in chapter 3, and I'm trying to do a quick review, and I'm trying to slow down because I wasn't so sure that last week I was clear. I get so excited, I get to moving too fast. Okay, so now that she discovered that it is pleasant to the eye, it is good for food, it's a tree to be desired, she took of the fruit. I find it interesting that that word didn't say she took the fruit. It says she took of the fruit. For my book, once again, I'm going to read you the difference between of and off. Because he didn't say don't eat off that tree. He said don't eat of that tree. Off means away from the place in question. So Yah didn't tell them don't eat off the tree. He told them don't eat of the tree. And of means expressing the relationship between a part and a whole. Wow, isn't that deep? Expressing a relationship, don't eat of that tree. Don't express a relationship with that tree between a part and a whole. That's interesting. Who you think the whole is? And who you think the part is? I'm gonna let you just sit on that. It's in the book. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, now she eats of the fruit. Now she expresses a relationship between a part and a whole with this fruit. Now, keep in mind, fruit is symbolic too. He's not talking literal. And I'm not going to say much more on that. You want to get some more details out there, you have to get that book. Anyway, and she ate. Now, there's a comma. After she ate, that means stop, pause, hold it. Mm-hmm. When she ate, did anything happen? Did anything change? Did she realize that she was naked? Did she die? No, she didn't. Because she's still there. And now what does she do? She gives to her husband who's standing right there with her. A lot of people think that the serpent called Eve alone. No, he didn't. Adam or Adam, Hebrew name, was right there. Her Hebrew name is Chuak. He was right there with her. So once again, why didn't the serpent go to the man, the one whom Yah had actually given the commandment? He's up to something. He's trying to find out basically what Adam knows, and he's going through his wife to do it. Because if Adam knows that a command was just for him, he ain't going to tell her nothing. But if Adam thinks that command is for her too, he going to inform her that Yah said we can't. When Yah didn't say we can't, Yah said you can't. So he didn't understand that the command was just for him. He thought it included her. And that's what the serpent was trying to find out. Because if Adam thinks that command is for both of them, he'll be able to deceive him by going through her. Because when she does it, when she eats of his fruit, nothing will happen. She won't realize that she's naked. Her eyes won't be open to evil. And Adam, seeing that nothing happens when she does it, he's going to get clever and think, well, nothing will happen if I do it too. I'll get the same results that she did. She didn't die.
And, and Adam could have stood up at any time during this whole thing and stopped everything.
He sure could have.
If he didn't eat,
Mm-hmm.
or if he'd have told her nothing about this whole information,
Mm-hmm.
when the serpent came to her, he'd have asked her the question, and she would have said, "He didn't tell me anything," and that would have been the end of the conversation.
Right. I like to say that when Adam should have spoken up, which is right here, he said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he should have said nothing he spoke up by telling her what Yah has said. Talking about we. Yah said we can't. No, y'all didn't. You lied. Y'all said you can't, homie. Okay? All right. So now she gives to him who is standing right there with her. And now what happens? Does anything change? Yes, it does.
When he ate.
When he eats, now their eyes are open. But their eyes were already open. So what were their eyes open to? Evil. Because their eyes were open to good, but they didn't recognize that they had good because they didn't have the opposite of good, that concept of evil. They didn't have any knowledge of evil. So they couldn't recognize the good. Remember, you have to have knowledge of the concept and its opposite in order to be able to differentiate or distinguish between either one. Okay, if I've never been sad, then I'm not going to appreciate happiness. I won't recognize happiness. If I've never been in trouble, I won't be able to recognize when I'm out of trouble. Do you get it? You have to have a concept and its opposite. So if I've never had any experience, any relationship with evil, I won't recognize the good I'll have. I won't know what it is. It's not until I recognize, have a relationship with evil that I can recognize, well, dang, then this was good. See, that's why y'all sent the law, so that they would know that they were evil because the law was good, but we ain't gonna get ahead of ourselves. So now their eyes are open, okay? And let's go, man.
7.
Yep, I mean Papa with number 7.
And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons, or something to gird themselves about.
Okay, we're going to stop right there because see, now their eyes are open to evil. And the first thing that they realize, the first thing that they see now that they're evil is their nakedness. They see that shame. And when shame, what it makes you do, it makes you hide from Yah and from yourself. That's why the enemy tries to bring shame on you so that you'll hide from Yah, the very one that you need when you done did wrong. And then you'll hide from yourself. You won't even be honest with yourself that you've done wrong. You'll just keep quiet and won't tell nobody. Okay, so now that they realize that they are naked, they see their nakedness. That's the first thing they see. Remember, they didn't see that before. And so now what they do, they're trying to hide their nakedness. By sewing fig leaves to make themselves some clothes. Okay.
And they heard the voice of Yah, of Elohim Yahuwah, walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Okay, hold on. Don't go no further. They heard the voice. They heard the voice of him walking in the garden in the cool of the day. They can hear him coming. They heard his voice walking. That's deep. Sit on that for a minute. Keep going.
And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Elohim Yahuwah amongst the trees of the garden.
Stop right there. We just said that shame. Now they're feeling shame because they've had a relationship with evil from eating of evil's fruit. When I take a man's fruit and that seed catch me at the right time, that's catch my seed and his seed, my seed and his seed catches me at the right time, I'm gonna yield something. A baby. Okay, we're gonna leave that right there. And so they hide. Remember, now they have shame because they've taken of his fruit, of the tree, of the evil tree's fruit, with the knowledge of good. They took of his fruit. And now they've had a relationship. I'm going to leave that right there because I'm talking about too much. It's in here, people. It's in the book. It breaks it down a little bit more. Let me show. It's called The Forbidden Fruit. Okay. Go to Barnes and Noble, Zulon.com, Amazon, and type in The Forbidden Fruit by Sandra Cloud. And you'll get this book, and it'll break all this down. That I'm not trying to answer that question for you. Okay, we just trying to get this part. So now, where are we?
9.
Okay, so they're making themselves close. They heard him coming, and they hide. Didn't I tell you that that's what shame gonna make you do? It's gonna hide. Okay, keep going. Number 9.
And Elohim Yahuwah called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Okay, he already know.
He knows where they are.
And he's not talking about location.
Right.
He's
physical
talking about
location.
He's talking about mentally. Okay,
right.
This is a mental.
Spiritual location.
Yep. Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
He already know what they did because first of all, he realizes that they're hiding from him. They've never hid from him before in their lives. And now you're hiding? Oh, you done did what I told you not to do. Okay, keep going.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
Okay, let's stop right there because now Adam is afraid of Yah. You just busted yourself with that. I was afraid. I heard you coming and I got scared. You ain't never been scared in your life. Y'all, he already know what you did. It's like your parents. Usually when they ask you what you do, they already know what you did. They just asking to see if you're going to be honest enough to tell the truth or if you're going to lie about it. Because then it gives them insight into your character, into who you are. So when your parents come for you with a question, usually they already know the answer. And Yah knows everything. He's a Yah that sees the beginning from the end. He knows your heart. Did I say that wrong?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I say he sees the beginning from the end.
He sees the end from the beginning.
Oh, I did say that wrong. Mm-hmm. He sees the end from the beginning. See how excited I get? This is why I like having him on my side. He keeps me on that straight and narrow because I be trying to get out my lane. But he'll pull me back on up in there, won't you, man?
Yes.
Well, thank you. Okay, so now you've just busted yourself with what you just said because you're talking about I was afraid because I was naked. First of all, you ain't never been afraid. Second of all, you didn't know you was naked. Mm-hmm. So, and now you're hiding from me? Only shame will make you do that. And now y'all's going to want to know how you know you're naked. Keep going.
And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree wherefore I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Okay, we're going to stop right there. Didn't I just tell you? Who told you was naked? Who you been talking to? Who you been hanging out with? Who you been listening to? Mm-hmm. He already know. He's just checking Adam's heart to see what Adam's going to tell him. And then he asked him, did you eat off the tree that I commanded you? He didn't say that I commanded y'all not to eat off of. Did he say that y'all eat off that tree? I could told y'all not to. No, he didn't. He said, did you eat off the tree that I commanded you that you shouldn't eat off of? Okay, keep going.
And see, this is where Adam should have stood up and took responsibility for what he did. But instead of doing that, let's see what he does.
But wait, he can't take responsibility because now he doesn't realize it, but he's spiritually dead. He is, and the word for that is iniquity. And iniquity means without a moral or spiritual consciousness. It's been severed. The minute that he ate from the tree of evil with the knowledge of good fruit, I'm just saying the name of the tree backwards so y'all can keep who this tree really is now. Okay, this tree is evil. That's the other God. That's Hasatan. That's the God of this world. Okay, he can't take responsibility because his Ruach HaKodesh has been severed. That's what has died. It's dead now. It's dormant. It's severed. He can't hear no more from Yah. Now all he can hear from is the one that he's like now. Once he ate of that fruit of evil, he became evil. Good is gone, and he's going to recognize it. He recognized good was gone the minute he started hiding and becoming afraid. Something's different because before I was never afraid, before I never hid, before I didn't see I was naked, and now you seeing all that, good's gone. So when you have a relationship with evil, that's what you're going to do. You're going to blame everybody else. You can't take responsibility now. If he was still in that state of good, he would take responsibility, but he can't. He wouldn't have did it. But he can't now because he's just like evil. He's just like Satan. And everybody else is born into that realm after him. It's going to be just like Satan too. We're going to have Satan's likeness. That's why Yeshua had to come, to redeem us from Satan's likeness so that we could now, and he paid the price for our sin, so now that we could be like Yah again. We could have the likeness of good again. Okay, keep going.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Okay, first of all, now we playing the blame game. Didn't I tell you? They're going to play the blame game. So who is he blaming? He blaming the woman. But you was standing there the whole time, and you didn't say nothing. You didn't open up your mouth. And now you want to blame her? Nobody told you to eat, even if she did eat. Nothing changed when she did it. Nobody told you to do it. And now you're blaming her. Oh, and then you're blaming Yah too. Talking about the woman you gave me. Really? I'm sorry. That's my necklace out here. Keep clanging on this table. Anyway, now he has a nerve to include Yah in that. It's your fault because you gave me this woman and she caused me to eat. Wow. Okay, keep going.
And the Elohim Yahuwah said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Now she's blaming the serpent. Adam blamed her. She blames the serpent. And let me just point out, this is the first time that Yah is on record speaking to Eve or Chuak. He didn't give her that command. He ain't said a word to her. This is the first time he's saying something to her. And the first thing he said, well, what did you do? What? He didn't even address Adam no more. You gonna sit there and try to blame me for real? It's my fault because I gave you a woman. I gave you a helpmate. And I told you not to listen to her. I told you what I wanted you to do. But you're gonna listen to her instead of listen to me. And then you're gonna try to blame me for it? Okay. Whatever, Adam. Talk to the hand. I'm moving on down the line. So he goes to the woman. She does the same thing. It was the serpent, the devil. He did it. He beguiled me. He tricked me. Keep going, because I'm over both of them right about now.
And the Lord God, Yahuwah Elohim, said unto the serpent.
Okay, stop. Once again, he just told Eve, talk to the hand, because see, you doing the same thing he did. You going to play the blame game? I'm surprised you didn't include me in on this. Talk to the hand. I'm just going to go on down the line. Now, he done went on to the serpent. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and the dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. So now he's talking to the serpent, and he's starting at the bottom, because this is where the trouble came from, right there, at the bottom. Go to the source. He went right to the source. Because you did this, you cursed. You ain't going to be the only one cursed. But anyway, because you did this, you cursed above all cattle. First, I made you more clever than any of the other cattle. But you cursed now above all cattle. Okay? And on your belly you should go. Okay, he was standing up. This serpent, not only was he talking, he was walking. He ain't finna do neither one no more. You'll never walk up and talk to another woman. And because first of all, I'm gonna shut your mouth so you can't say another word. And then I'm gonna put you on your belly so you can't walk up to her. You'll be crawling up to her, but then I'm gonna do something else. Keep going.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Okay, I'm putting enmity. Enmity means deep-seated hatred. So not only am I going to take your ability to walk away, I'm going to take your ability to talk away, and then I'm going to put deep-seated hatred between you and her. Okay? And then not only you and her, between your seed and her seed. And she ain't gonna like you no more. She gonna be afraid of you. She gonna be scared of you. She gonna try to bruise your head, and you gonna try to bruise her heel. Okay? And boy, there's some loaded stuff in that. But I'm gonna leave that alone right now. Let's just stay in contacts, because this can also go to a race of people.
To the spirit of a race of people.
To the spirit of two races of people. But we're going to leave that alone. I just like to open up stuff and tease you with it and not give it to you. We'll get there. All right, let's go.
Unto the woman he said.
Okay, now he's moving on up the ladder. He done gave the serpent his punishment. You're going to be cursed above all these other kinds. You're going to be cursed. You ain't going to never be able to say another word. You ain't never going to be able to walk again. And this woman's going to hate you. She ain't going to never want to hear nothing else you got to say. She going to try to kill you, and you going to try to kill her. Okay.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Okay, right there. We got to just talk about that. Now, he's going to multiply the sorrow of women. It's going to be greatly multiplied. Thanks, Chuak. Thank you so much. But Yeshua came and redeemed us. And now those of us who has received and believed and accepted what Yeshua did, this doesn't apply to us anymore. Okay.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Oh.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Okay, there's a lot of loaded stuff up in here, so let's talk about this. He's going to multiply your sorrows and your conception. That means you're going to be more sad and sorry than you ever been in your life, and then I'm going to multiply your pregnancies, your conceptions. You're going to have more than you ever want to, and now you were going to bring forth children, and it wasn't going to be in sorrow. It was going to be a joyful thing, but now it's going to hurt so much. It's going to be in sorrow. You're going to be screaming and hollering like the fool. Some of us anyway. I think I was in that category. No, I wasn't. But yeah, I did a couple of times, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I said a few words that I had to ask forgiveness for. That stuff hurt. Thank you, Chuak, because see, before we really went to hurt, now not only is he going to multiply my conception, I'm going to be pregnant more than I want to breathe. It's going to hurt like hell. Every time I try to give birth. Okay. And hold on. And now your desire is going to be to your husband. That means you're going to always be wanting his attention. I need your attention. I need your love. I need you to talk to me. I need you to spend time with me. I need you to tell me how beautiful I am. I need you to whisper sweet nothings in my ear. I need you. I need you. I need you. And then he going to rule over me. What? Now he going to rule over me. Really? Wow. And man has ruled over woman ever since. Need I say more? Okay. Keep going. That was woman's punishment. Now he moving on up the ladder. First he moved down it, now he moving up. And here comes Adam's turn.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hearkenest unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life.
Okay, we're going to stop right there and break that down. Now he's talking to Adam, and he said, because you listened to her instead of listening to me, and you ate of the tree. Did he even bring the tree up to Eve when he was talking to her? He didn't. He didn't say, because you ate of the tree, I told you not. He didn't say that because he didn't tell her not to. So all you people keep saying that he told the woman, stop telling lies. You're sounding like the serpent. He didn't tell her. Reach your word. Clear your glasses off. He didn't tell her. And he's not telling her now. He's saying it to Adam. He ain't saying it to her. He said, because you ate off the tree, listen to that heifer, which I commanded you, saying, don't eat. Curse is going to be the ground for your sake. Okay? In sorrow, you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Okay? Now, you're going to have to work for what you was eating in sorrow. Mm-hmm. Cursed is that ground. And you know what? That ground that would just yield all kind of delicious, wonderful fruit. It's not. It's cursed now. That ground is cursed. It ain't yielding none of that. And for you to get it to yield something, you're going to have to work for it. It's going to be sorrow. Keep going, man.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
Okay, he said thorns and thistles. See, that field didn't have no thorns and no thistles. Now it's going to have thorns and thistles. You know, the thorns hurt. That stuff hurt when you're trying to work that ground, you know, so that you can get some food out of it. And now he's saying thorns and thistles. It's going to bring forth to you, and now you're going to eat the herb of the field. You got to work for it, brother. Keep going.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. Thou shalt until thou shalt return unto the ground.
Okay, now he's going to throw some shade. Keep going.
For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return.
Okay, let me break it down for you. He said, okay, you're going to work hard in that garden. That ground is cursed. It's cursed. It's not just going to easily yield that wonderful fruit, because before it just yielded to you. You didn't have to do nothing. You didn't have to work for it. It just grew. Now it's cursed. Now you got to work for it. You're going to do it in the sweat, in sorrow. Thorns and thistles is going to grow up out of that ground now, of that cursed ground. And now you got to work for everything you eat. The sweat going to be on your face in order for you to get something to eat. That's how hard you got to work. He said, until you return back to the ground. Because out of the ground, you was taken. And you're going to return back until you go back to that ground where you was. See, because man wouldn't have went to the ground if he'd ate out of the tree of the life, the tree of life. He wouldn't have never died. And everything would have stayed all good. Everything would have stayed in a state of all good. And here's the shade. For dust thou art. He called it dust. You're just dust. You're hard-headed. And you're dust. Later on, he calls them stiff necks. You hard-headed, stiff-necked piece of dirt. You're going back. You're going to work hard. Because you listen to her. Now she going to be up in your ear for the rest of her life. You want to listen to her? Okay, now she going to be up in your ear. Tell me, spend some time with me. Do you love me? Come on, be with me. Okay, talk to me. Okay, she going to be in your ear all day. Oh, you want to listen to her instead of me? Okay. You going to listen to her, right? That's that right, man.
Mm-hmm.
You been listening to your wife and say, sometimes man just hear me going, and he hear, he has this ability to just tune me out when I get to going on the road. And it just makes me so much madder because I be wanting to fight. Come on, fight back. And he just, well, you be looking over in space somewhere. You don't even, oh, I hate it. You know what? After a while, you shut up because you can't argue with yourself. You just trying, oh, some things just, but I have my ways. Don't I, man?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. You told him you're dust, you're dirt. And to the dirt you're going back. That was the shade. That was the shade. Y'all throwing shade. Okay, let's wrap this up because we way over time. Let's go.
And Adam called his wife's name Eve, or Chua, because she was the mother of all living.
Yeah, she was a mother, all right. We're going to leave that alone. Keep going.
Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skins and clothe them.
Okay, we're going to stop right there at 21. We actually made it through another whole chapter. Yeah, we did. We out of 3.
No, we're at number.
Oh, dang, we didn't.
We got 2 more verses. We can read these 2 more verses.
Okay, let's go ahead and try. Wait, let me see if there's anything I need to break down. Okay, now Adam gives his wife a name, Eve, or the Hebrew word is Shuach. That's why we call each other. For here it's Mama and Papa Sia, but in real life I call him man. He called me woman because when we started reading this, it was like they don't have name. He didn't name her, so what was he saying when he wanted to get her attention? Woman. And what was she saying when she wanted to get his attention? Man. And so it just kind of stuck. But we're going to try to finish this up. Okay.
And Yahuwah Elohim said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
Stop. Okay, right there. Now he's saying the man has become as one of us, the gods that know good and evil. To know good and evil. First, all they knew was good. And now that and means there's a plus, an addition. Something's been added. Evil has been added. That was the only thing that they didn't know. They have had a relationship with evil. Okay. And now, at least he put forth his hand. Now, I find it really interesting when they was talking about this other tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, or I like to call the tree of evil with the knowledge of good. He didn't say nothing about it. He put forth his hand to eat off that one, did he? But the tree of life, he had to put forth his hand to eat off of. But the other one, he said he would eat of that tree's fruit. Interesting, deep, ain't it? Okay. And hold on. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, eat and live forever. I told you, if he had ate off the tree of life first, he would have sealed man's fate just where it was, in a state of all good forever, only knowing good.
Ready?
23.
Therefore, the Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the garden
Get out
of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
Okay, he just got kicked out. He just got evicted. He just got kicked out of the garden. Get to stepping. And wait, sending forth from the garden to till the ground from which he was taken. You got that dirt I took you from that's now cursed. That's where you're going to work to get some food. Okay.
So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
Okay, so he done put him out the garden, and now he is placing at the east of the garden cherubims. Those are Yah's attending angels. Those are the angels that attend Yah. There's his attendants that attend to him, wait on him, do the things that he needs to get done. So he's put them at the east of the garden, and a flaming sword, not just a sword. This mug's on fire. Okay, which turn every way to keep you away from that tree, because now if you eat from that tree now, in the sorry state that you were in of evil, because remember, you were good first, and it would have been okay to eat from the tree then, but now you are all evil. Now the good's gone. That's what died. The good, it's gone. Bye-bye. And so to keep you from sealing man's fate and evil forever, we keeping you out this garden, and we keeping you away from that tree of life. And we have actually gotten through the whole chapter 3 today. Mm-hmm. But I also find it interesting that it seems like each one of them were punished according to the sin that they had done. The serpent walking up to the woman, having a conversation with the woman, now he won't walk up to her. Now he won't have a conversation, because now he's on his belly. Now his mouth is shut. And now Yah has put enmity, hatred between both of them. So they won't even come together no more. They're just going to try to kill each other. So because of what you did, now I just reversed everything. And the same thing with her, because of her, telling the man, what to do. Now he's going to always rule over you, because he listened to you instead of me. Now he gonna rule over you, and now I'm gonna multiply your sorrows and your conceptions in his ruling over you, and you're gonna have more babies, and now you're gonna have them in pain, and it's gonna hurt. And then the man, because you listen to your wife, said, listen to me, she always gonna be up in your ear. Run it off at the mouth. And now that garden that used to just give you an abundance of food without any effort, now you're gonna work hard as hell for that same little yield, and in the process of it, all kind of thorns and thistles is gonna grow up. You're gonna be working to the sweat of your brow. You're just dust and dirt, and you're gonna work until you return back to the dust and dirt. Now your physical body gonna die. Not only did your spirit die, now you're physically going to die when you wouldn't have died before. So I just thought it was interesting that that they got punished according to what they had done. And that's kind of how Yah does us. You're going to get punished according to what you've done. And then I find it interesting that with the tree of life, it's Yah is clearly saying he has to put forth his hand to take of that. But the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, did he say anything about his hand? So I wonder what it was. How did they eat? She gonna push her book. Yes, she is. Wanna know? That's right. Okay, we are done for today. We got 7 minutes to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. You think that's gonna work? You think that's gonna really, really happen? Okay, all month we've been talking about love, so I see no reason not to stop now. Last week we talked about loving Yeshua and getting a relationship with him. Let me say this, because this is what I was going to talk about last week, and I just felt in my spirit that I should switch gears, okay? You hear a lot of times, I was reading a little story where it was talking about this woman was mad at her child didn't want to talk to her child, have a relationship with her child because her child was gay. You hear a lot of times religious people, and I'm going to say religious people because you add in a bunch of man-made stuff that Yah didn't say. First of all, I need you to show me in Yah's word anywhere where he said hate gay people. He didn't say that. Yeah, I hear you saying, well, he said it was an abomination, but that ain't all he said was abomination. He said eating pork was abomination, eating shrimp was abomination, sleeping with animals was abomination. Y'all doing all of that. Okay, so why is it that you want to throw up that abomination? Put the shrimp down, put the pork down, put that rib down. Coming up on this world's holiday, I don't celebrate the world's holiday. I don't do pagan holidays. Okay, I celebrate the holidays that Yah ordained in His Word. If it ain't in His Word, I don't celebrate it. The only thing that not in His Word that I actually acknowledge and celebrate are birthdays, because I think that birthdays to me are special. It's the day you came in, and I celebrate those days. But I mean, there's a lot of things that He put in that word that was an abomination, a lack of faith. There's a lot of things. So don't just pick one abomination and say we're gonna lean with it, roll with it, rock with it. Stop the madness. Okay? He said if you're guilty of one, you're guilty of all of them. Okay? There were 613 laws that man couldn't keep. He sent the law because man is now evil. Remember, man was good until Yeshua came. I put this in my book and I just want to read it to you. Adam was a man created to be like God. But Yeshua was a God created to be like a man. You see the difference? You see the difference? Yeshua was God. He gonna do the right thing. But Adam was a man and Yah gave him choice. And when he did what he did in that garden, it tainted everybody's nature, everybody's likeness or nature. It made us like Hasatan in varying degrees and varying level. So if in Hasatan is in total opposition to who Yah is in every shape, form, and fashion. Total opposition. They're different as night and day. So if Yah, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not even going to go there with that conversation because that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Now, I ain't scared to have it, but I just want to stay on point. Yah tells us to love our enemies. He tells us to love Him first and foremost. That is the new law, to love Him. Love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And then love your neighbor as you love yourself. He didn't say love your neighbor if your neighbor was straight. Stop the madness. He said love your neighbor. It don't matter if he's gay. It don't matter if he's transgender. It don't matter what he is. You're supposed to love him. He didn't say nothing about, if he tell you to hate your enemy, why would you think he wants you to hate gay people? That's foolishness. That's religion. He said the evidence that you are my disciple, my chosen one, is that you have love one for another. He said, and without love, all that other stuff you doing, paying your tithes, speaking in tongues, and all that, if you don't have love, it's just vain. It's useless. So He wants you to love. Those are your children. Why would you not? There's a whole lot of things that He said that were abominations. You don't keep them, do ya? So you don't get to pick that one and then blame, lie for it. You sound like the serpent. That I'm supposed to hate them because they're gay or hate them because they're transgender. Leave them people alone. We all are varying degrees of Hasatan's evil. Because of Yeshua HaMashiach, we get to try to change some of that. But the nature was changed of every man, every animal. You don't get to hate them and call yourself a child of the Most High Yah. Hear me, because I hear a lot of preachers and pastors and historians, and I could be wrong, but this is what I believe. Okay? And we're all trying to do the best that we can with what we have and what we believe that we're hearing from Yah. So if you disagree with me, you ain't got to hate me. Because if you hate me, that just says that you're not Yah's disciple. Because see, I don't agree with everybody out here. You won't. Not on everything. You can't. There's no way you would agree 100% with everybody on everything that they say. No way. Husbands don't, children don't, even twins don't. So just because I disagree with you, I ain't got to hate you. That's what the world does. That's what Hasatan does. He hates. So if you hating anybody, Hasatan is your daddy, not Yah. It's in the word, and I'll prove it to you. So you can't be sitting up there hating folks, black folks, white folks, gay folks, straight folks, transgender folks, bisexual folks. You can't hate nobody. You cannot hate and say that you belong to Yah. No, you don't. That's why Yeshua said, you have no idea whose spirit you are of. So stop lying on your little pulpits. Talking about, Yah hate you, you're going to hell. No, you're going to hell for hating. How about that? No, you don't get to judge. He said, judge yourself and do that harshly. He said, love your neighbor. He didn't say, love your neighbor only if he's straight. When Yeshua hit that cross, he hit that cross for all sin. We all got sin. All have sinned and fallen short. And if you say you have no sin, you want to lie. That's in the word. Tree.
Tree.
Tree what?
Not cross.
Oh, yeah. Did I say cross? Oh, thank you. Because it says tree. See, that's them lies that was brainwashed into us that I'm working to try to get that mess up out my head. That's why I stay in the word. Tell you he died on the cross. No, he didn't. He died on a tree. Cursed is the man who dies on the tree. And I find it interesting that ever since Yeshua, who looked like us, who had skin of a penny, doesn't that look like a penny?
Mm-hmm.
But they've been hanging people who look like pennies on trees ever since. That so-called Negro. I'd rather use Negro than black because at least the world talked about Negro land. Mm-hmm. They never said that about no black land and no white land. Why? You don't give me a concept. You don't give me a color to identify my ethnicity. No, you don't get to do that. And then you're going to give me a color and then define it in your little dictionary as being something negative and evil.
Dark evil.
Right, but then you give yourself the color that's just all white and pure. And stop the madness. I ain't buying that. The devil is a lie, and so are you. So I'm just saying to you, y'all need to stop hating gay people. You need to stop hating any people talking about you, child of the Most High. No, you're not. You're child of the Hasatan with that hate. He said the evidence that you are my disciple is that you have love one for another. I had a whole bunch of scriptures that I had pulled up on love that I was going that way last week because that's a lie from the pits of hell. Y'all need to stop that. Leave them folk alone. You got evil in your life. You sitting up there judging them like you perfect? Really? Really? You was perfect. He could have sent your little behind to that tree. Ain't nothing perfect about you. And it ain't your righteousness. It ain't your holiness. Let's just be clear. It's Yeshua's righteousness. It's Yah's holiness that he just poured over you like a layer of skin. It's his. Because if he removes it, then you just stank. He said even your best was filthy red. So stop the foolishness. You don't get to hate nobody. And you white folks, stop trying to hate black folks. Because that ain't in this word. And you try to use the word to justify that. You're lying too, and the truth ain't in you. No one gets to hate. You don't get to hate white folks, black folks, Asian folks, Chinese folks, Mexican folks. You don't get to hate and say you on Team Yah. No, you don't. And anybody who hates, you on Team Satan. Let's be clear. Let me see if I can find my little words on love scriptures. But by love, serve one another. Galatians 5:13. He that loveth not, knoweth not God. I didn't say it. It's in the word. That would be in 1 John 4:8-7. I know we over. I know. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God and keep his charge and his statutes and his judgments and his commandment always. Okay, let's be clear on that. His charge, love him with all your heart, soul, and mind. Statutes, them holy holidays, and that the Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Pentecost, the unleavened bread, and the Feast of Tabernacles, all of those. Those are his statutes. His commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt
thy neighbor's wife,
love your mom and your dad. Those are those commandments, okay? I just want to say, he that loveth not, I just had to go back to that because that was just good. Knoweth not God. You walking in hate, you don't know God. I didn't say it. 1 John 4, 7, 8, and 9 said it. Pick your word up. So don't be talking about you hate gay people and they're going to hell. No, you're going to hell for hating. Because now you're like Hasatan. Okay? We don't get to hate. We don't get that luxury. Yes, y'all said it was easy to love those people that loved you and was good and kind to you. That wasn't the challenge. The challenge was, can you love those that's not so nice, not so good, not so kind? Now hear me. You ain't got to walk with them, but you do have to love them when you're in their presence, when you're around them. You can't be hating on folks talking about you know Yeshua HaMashiach and you on team Yah, team God. No, you're not. Because he that loveth not knoweth not God. For God is love. Is that plain enough for you? Let's see what else. Love righteousness and hate wickedness. Isn't wickedness hating? Isn't that wickedness? You don't get to hate. You don't get to hate. So it's really foolish that you would waste a relationship with your own kids. They can't no more help how they were born than you can help the way you were born. Gay folks can't no more help being gay than you can help being black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Japanese. You had no control over that. When Adam ate of that tree's fruit, he sealed up good and gave everybody the likeness of evil. And we're all different variations of evil. Some to different degrees. And, but is it any different? No, evil is evil. Yah said you're guilty of one, you're guilty of all evil. Don't think higher of yourself than you ought. Even your best is filthy rags. He said, if you say you don't have sin, you are lying. The truth ain't in you. Well, wouldn't that make you like Hasatan? Because he's the father of lies. Once again, when you hate people, you just showing who your daddy is. I don't care who you are. I'm like, yeah, I ain't got no respect to person. I really don't. It don't matter. If you don't agree, you don't like what I'm saying, don't listen. Hit the little thing in the middle and get off my page. I ain't for you. All I won't have ears to hear. I'm just saying, you can't hate anybody. And I think it's really ridiculous to hate your own children, your own fathers, your own mother, because they're gay. Well, that's what white people did to you. They hate you because you black. Did you think that was fair? Thought that was ridiculous? Mm-hmm. It's just as ridiculous to hate other people for what they have no control over. Okay? Let's see what else I got up in here. I got a bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of them. Deuteronomy, all up in Deuteronomy 13 and 3, 19 and 9. All of them talking about love, 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 love. Let's see here. Without love, nothing you do profits you. 1 Corinthians 13. Without love. So stop lying. Stop blaming the eye for love, hating folks. Gay folks. Stop it. Sound like that serpent. Sound like the devil. Don't get mad at me. It's the word. I'm the messenger. Don't hate the messenger. Take it over to y'all. Okay, I'm just saying what he told me to say. I'm just saying what's in his word. Show mercy to them that love me and keep my commandments. He didn't say you can't love me, you can't keep my commandments if you're gay, if you're transgender. He didn't say that. He said, you shall not avenge, bear grudge against the children of thy people. Love your neighbors as yourself. Leviticus 19:18. Let me see. I'm trying to find some good ones I can throw up in your face because that one was really good. If you didn't have love, you didn't know y'all. So all you preachers, you better stop preaching that. Because you just showing the world you don't know y'all if you're preaching hate. Sorry. So stop. Love your kids, even if they're gay. That's ridiculous. You got a choice. I can love them and be like y'all, or I can hate them and be like the devil. Who you want to serve? It's your choice. Just like he gave Adam that choice with them 2 trees. Who you want to know? Who you want to love? Who you want to serve? Who you want to be like? Good or evil? I made you like me. You're good. But I put this tree in the middle, this evil tree in the middle, so you could choose that if you wanted to love him, to know evil, you could. But if you don't have love, you don't know me. I am love. So stop lying, stop using religion, stop using Christianity, whatever it is you want to use for hating gay people. Stop it. That is so wrong. That is just as stupid as hating people because they're black, or hating people because they're white, or hating people because they're Mexican, or Asian. That is so stupid, y'all. Why are you hating people because of stuff that they have no control of? They take no more control being who they are than you can control being who you are. So, if you're hating folks, Satan is your daddy. If you're loving folks, yeah, it's your father. Let me read that one more time, then I'm going to close. Because I just love that. Remember, without love, nothing you do means anything. You can pay your tithes till the cows come home. You can speak in tongues till you can't talk no more. You can give to the poor. But if you're walking around hating gay folks, hating transgender folks, hating bisexual folks, child, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Love your neighbor. Leviticus 19 and 18. My favorite one is that he that loved not knoweth not God. So all you religious folks, preachers, pastors, evangelists, bishops, Pentecostals, teachers, evangelists, whatever title you need to call yourself, if you walking in hate, you don't know Yah. Having said that, I'm Mama Sia.
And I'm Papa Sia.
We hope we help you get your life today. We thank you and praise you so much, Father, for sending the people to us that you want to hear, because we know all don't have an ear to hear. We thank you for this word today. We hope that you did the talking when we opened our mouths. And did we say Shabbat Shalom to our family today? We did. Okay, well, it's time to go out. Shabbat Shalom until the sun goes down. We love you. Yah loves you. And Satan hates you. Not Yah. Have a blessed day.
Be blessed.
Shalom.
Shalom.